Hello YouTube! Welcome back for another episode of Workshop Taz. I'm sure this is going to go over like a lead balloon, but I'm going to talk about some safety equipment that I use. And I know a lot of it is common stuff, but some of it I see some folks on YouTube not using this stuff. And something that comes to my mind every time I weld. And I'll explain all this stuff. I'm not trying to be the safety Gestapo here, so I'm really not trying to preach any particular one item. I'm doing this because I'm serious about it, not because I have no products to sell. I'm not advertising for anybody. Nobody's sponsoring me, but I just got some stuff that I use, and I would like to just make it aware, just for the heck of it. I mean, I speak from experience, over 30 years of automotive experience. I've had everything in my eyes. Brake fluid, antifreeze, gasoline, carburetor cleaner, brake cleaner, you name it. It's been in my eyes. Probably even asbestos from working on cars from the 60s, the wiring and stuff. I have had it on my fingers, got it in my eyes. So I had a lot of things in my eyes, not necessarily by my choice. I don't wake up in the morning and plan on getting brake fluid in my eyes, which by far to this point has been the worst thing I've had in my eyes. Nothing burns quite like brake fluid. I don't know why. It literally makes your eyes feel like they're going to melt. But back in late 70s and early 80s, wasn't really wearing a whole lot of PPE, personal protective equipment, so I got a lot of stuff in my eyes. Yeah, not a good thing. So anyway, when I started welding again, probably one of the things that come to mind is I was watching Mr. Tig from Tig Time, and I noticed he always had his safety glasses on, and one time he explained that, and I never really thought about it because I've welded before. I never used my safety glasses. I just didn't think about it until I started getting back into it again here about, I don't know, 6 months ago or so. And as I had my hat down, my helmet down, I noticed that a spark had jumped up in the helmet and was bouncing around. I didn't have my safety glasses on, and it alarmed me. I'm not going to lie, I shuddered there for a bit because, once, just the thought of that hot spark or slag or whatever dancing around your helmet touching your face, you definitely don't want it in your eyes. Some of the stuff that I'm going to talk to you guys about today can also help you a trip from the hospital, unless you like getting stuff pulled out of your eyes or you like hot slag on your skin, or I don't personally. I would imagine you wouldn't unless you're some type of sicko. And so I'm just gonna show you what I got. It's not a really big deal. I'm not bringing anything to you guys earth-shattering. We have the safety glasses that we do stuff, and they're dirty, of course. That we do stuff under the helmet. Now, these aren't that great in my opinion. These will stop something coming in from the front. They will not They will not stop a spark coming in from under your helmet and under your eye. So these kind of scare me. Probably I would recommend, just my recommendation, I haven't tried them yet, but I'm dying to try them. If you see Chucky 2009, he's got those safety glasses that make him look like a raccoon. Okay, I'll take looking like a raccoon over getting my eyes burned out. I know he had a video on them. I don't remember the brand name. I don't remember where he got them, if he got them off of Amazon or whatever, but I want to try those because they go on and they have some type of I don't know if it's a rubber gasket or whatever that actually goes, seals the eye, and that's what you really want, is to be able to seal. Now, I use these for pretty much everything, and I have gotten stuff from underneath the car in my eye. The latest in my eye thing was sharpening a tungsten, had it hooked up to the drill. Gonna run over there, run it on the belt sander, forgot my safety glasses. That no big deal. I'll just look off to the side here, and that's what I did. And what it did, the first time that tungsten hit that sanding belt, a chunk went in my eye. Naturally, I said a few words because these were sitting over here and I should have just taken them with me. As far as safety glasses are concerned, I try to make sure I've got a pair in my toolbox, pretty much each corner of the garage if I can. I do a lot of work inside my U-Haul and radio control airplanes. I make sure I get a couple pair in there in case I'm going to take something apart or whatever. It's just safety, common sense. Like I said, I'm not trying to rattle you guys or whatever, or be, well, whatever. Like I said, I don't want to be the safety police. I'm not trying to do that. It's just friendly reminders. One of the things that I do when I'm welding is I usually wear this under my hat, or a welder that I work indirectly with actually gave me a welding beanie. And that's kind of neat. And it's actually got little skulls on it, i.e. skull cap, RRR. And no, I don't wear the two together. I usually just put this on, put the helmet on. Warmer weather, I wear this. Colder weather, I wear this. I prefer this to hopefully keep, I mean, this isn't going to stop anything from burning, but hopefully it will repel a little bit so you don't get anything in your ears. I can't imagine something in your ear burning, just like I wouldn't want it in my eye. Typical stuff we all know about welding gloves. Nothing earth-shattering, nothing new. Just make sure you get a pair. I think I saw somebody the other day that was welding without gloves and about blew me away. Now, one of the things that I got, we all know about the welding helmet. That's not anything earth-shattering or anything new. But one of the things that I got here is kind of like this little guy that naturally gets in your way as you're trying to see. So you have to make sure that you lock the helmet all the way up. So we got safety glasses. I got this. I like this thing here. Put it down here. And it kind of shields a lot of the sparks from coming up into the helmet. So this I had to put on myself. These don't cost too much. I think I get this puppy at, I think I got this at Airgas, Chucky's favorite place. And I believe, I think it was under $10. I don't know, it was like $3 or $5 or something. So to me, that's some pretty cheap protection. I had to put the screws in here and actually kind of mount it in there, poke the holes in the leather so it would work. I like that. And also respirators, another one. See, here we go. See, that's a pain in the butt. You have to make sure you lock your welding helmet on real tight so you can lift this puppy up and keep it out of your eyes. For the most part. I'm going to take this off because it does drive you nuts, but it is kind of one of those, in my opinion, necessary evils. Just my opinion. Also, respirator. I've been using a respirator. Fits under the helmet. I was welding some stick here a couple weeks ago before I bought this puppy, and I'm trying to do the whole hold your breath thing, and sometimes the smoke's blowing away, sometimes it's not. I usually weld outside, so I had a nice breeze going, and it was blowing the smoke away. Hey, this is great, and then it stops, and then it blows it the other way, so it rolls up against my chest under the helmet. So I was glad I had this. That's also another thing. I've done a lot of automotive painting where, hey, just hold your breath real quick and you just want to primer a panel, and I'm just only going to be in there for a few seconds, so I'll hold my breath right in there and shoot a coat or two and then run back out. I'm sure my lungs have somewhat of a coating of DP40, and DP40 is not the latest street drug. DP40 is a two-part epoxy primer, which I'm sure once enters your lungs does not leave. Same thing with the respirator here with welding. I've been doing a lot of stick and flux core, and I don't know which exactly components are in everything, but I know chromium can be one of them, and a whole slew of other nasty chemicals that you really don't want breathing in your lungs. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that are been welding for 40 plus years and never needed a respirator, never used a respirator, and they're just fine. Well, that's great, but just in case you're not fine, I would rather use a little bit of protection. This wasn't that much. Once again, I think I got that at Airgas too. Wasn't what I specifically went there for. I mean, I did go there to look, and they had one, so I got it. Not that I'm promoting anything from Airgas. I'm not being sponsored by any. This is just, this is a Miller. I'm not pushing product for them. My helmet's a Lincoln. I mean, I got everything from everybody, and that's okay. I like products that fit the need and that you like, or that I like, or that we like as individuals, rather than pushing a particular product, say like Miller, Lincoln. I mean, that's a Miller skull cap, but that was given to me. I wouldn't tell you if it's any better than anything else. One of the things I don't quite like about this is a low profile mask, but it does kind of interfere with the helmet. So if you're going to get one, try to get one that interferes the least amount with your helmet. I don't know if they make a lower profile one than that. I know you can get them online. I haven't bought one online yet. I know Chucky did an episode where I think he got a respirator online. His, I think, has the bigger, flatter filters. I think the round, if I remember correctly. I think he got it on Amazon. Don't quote me on that. Check with his videos. I don't know. What else? Heck, there was something else here. That's really about all I got. I just wanted to push some safety stuff because every time I get sparks under the helmet. Yesterday was one of them. I think of these things, and yes, I did have them on, but it still scares me. I'd like to get the ones that surround the eye. I also did some videos with the Vulcan OmniPro 220. Unfortunately, they didn't come out too good because of the way I had the camera positioned. The machine operated flawlessly. I was bouncing back and forth between a couple of processes, and I was trying to get all the camera shots of what the machine was doing while I was welding. Unfortunately, when I set the camera up and walked away, the sun would come down and bleach out the screen, and the camera didn't pick it up unless I was standing just right blocking the sun. I thought that's not going to work. So one of these days I'll set that up. Also, I want to get I want to also do, I'm not going to say a competition, but I want to do the Vulcan OmniPro 220. I also want to do the Lincoln Square Wave TIG 200, and the I've got a little Harbor Freight Central Electric. It's also a TIG machine and a stick welder, and they don't sell it anymore. It's the 144 amp stick welding, or 145 stick welding, and 160 amp TIG welding, and I've used that machine. That's also an inverter machine. It's a fun little machine, but each 3 machines is different, so it'll be kind of fun. I won't be able to do, I'll probably just do them all on stick, because the Lincoln Square Wave TIG 200 doesn't do it doesn't do flux core, doesn't do MIG or anything like that. It's either TIG or it's going to be stick, and I'm not going to switch back and forth between TIG, but I would like to do stick with all 3 machines just to see what they do. I already know what the Vulcan does, but I've never had the TIG 200 on stick yet. Now that'd be interesting to see. What else was I going with this? I also have some fun stuff coming from Jimbo's Garage. Hopefully they'll be here early next week, and that'll be kind of fun. I saw some products on his website that I ordered, and I'm excited. I can't wait to get those, because they're going to actually really serve a purpose. I didn't buy them just to buy them, or I didn't buy them just because they were made in the USA. They're actually going to serve a purpose for me, and I'm excited about that. So that's all I got. Kind of a long video. Sorry for, playing safety police, but it is something that I feel, I don't want to use the terms dear to my heart, but it's something I do feel serious about, because I have had a lot of things in my eyes, and probably a few things in my lungs that I didn't want, but that's my fault for not wearing, proper safety equipment. As a matter of fact, I do have an old respirator from the old paint days, and I've had it so long that the straps have all broken. This is what I used to use for painting, and I wore that religiously after I got one. But I think there were still those in-between times I'd run in there and shoot a couple coats real quick on a fender or a part or something, which wasn't a good idea. Anyway, that's really all I got. I want to throw something out there. So keep it in mind, if you're gonna weld, you really don't want those sparks going in around your eyes or your face. Seemed like there was another safety thing I was going to throw in there, but I cannot remember. So thanks for stopping by. Thanks for putting up with me. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And hopefully in the not too distant future, we got some fun stuff coming from Jimbo's Garage. I want to do I don't know if I want to say a comparison, but I want to run all three machines on TIG, or stick, stick. And we'll do some sample plates. Each 3 machines, it'll all be on 240 volt, because the smallest machine is only 240. It's not 110, and that's kind of an interesting thing. I had something else. So Jimbo's Garage, these. Oh, and also I got a fence project coming up here in the not too distant future, I think, and I'm debating. The existing fence is wood, and I want to do it either out of steel or aluminium. Yes, I said aluminium. No, I'm not from Britain, but it was just fun to say. So I'm going to probably contact a few people to get some ideas on how. I got a kind of rough idea how I want to do it. I don't have a plan built up, but I got kind of an idea. The steel that I have is too heavy, and I don't want a really heavy gate, because it is bolted to the side of the garage, so I don't know exactly how much load that can take. It's pretty old wood, pretty old hardware, so we'll go from there. I'm thinking of maybe some thin-walled aluminum rectangle tubing, I'm hoping. So we'll see. I don't know. I don't have a particular plan, but I think that's going to be fun, and I will film that, because if I'm going to do it out of steel or aluminum, I'm going to weld it. So probably the Vulcan OmniPro 220 will be the machine I use, which means that, actually that's incorrect, which means if I was going to do it out of aluminum, I don't have a spool gun for that, so I probably do with the TIG 200 and TIG it. TIG weld it. I don't know. We'll see. I might do it out of steel. I might do it out of aluminum. I haven't decided yet. Anyway, I already said it. I'm rambling. Thank you for putting up with me. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. And hopefully the next video will be more fun stuff, not me just babbling. Anyway, thanks a lot. Bye. Okay, turn off now. I can only hold a smile so long.